Hello, my name is Ines K, and welcome to the self-conscious community. Okay, we are now on part two of the subject, which was the first one. The first video was understanding the subconscious mind intro. So before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm new. I'm really new. So just I need a little bit of more support from you guys. Plus click the like button. We can get started from now. Okay, so we have discussed about understanding the subconscious mind, where I explain how the mind works and how powerful it is. The second subject, which is part two, is the family dynamic and how it affects the child, and how the child can be really affected by the way the way he has been brought up. As I was saying, as a black woman, and also African with African heritage, it is really hard to explain it, but I would say there is a lot of by family dynamic, and we kind of let it go because they just family, and if it's okay because she is my mother, she is my uncle, or he's my uncle, or whatever, she is my sister, and that's okay to let for your family member abuse you mentally, abuse you, put you down, and yes, and just keep going with that, let it go, it's okay, that's fine, because I am blood related. I really do not agree with that. Why? Because in my experience, talking about me, my own experience, growing up in a African household, and seeing all type of things, um because again the subject is the effects of a bad family dynamic on children, right? You have to understand that children, as soon as they come out of their mom's womb, the only thing that they have is their eyes, their ear, and their mouth to cry, or pretty much mouth to cry. Okay. um a baby, a few weeks old baby, will actually be observant. People tend to think babies are stupid. Baby are not stupid. Baby are very smart. They observe everything, they hear everything, they record literally everything. It's not because they want to, it's just because their brain are fresh and just came out of the their brain is really fresh, so they can literally, this is the time, this is why we say kids learn faster. Kids are really good at learning very quick because their brain are fresh and young and all that. The thing is, right, we tend to mimic our parents' behavior. Okay, we tend to mimic our parents' behavior because they are supposed to give us the good, how could I say that, like, they should be example to us, right? Okay, how to function in a normal society. So we look up to our parents, right? Or our uncles or cousin, older cousin. Okay, whatever. In my experience growing up, in an African household was very challenging. Okay, this is what has caused me at the age of 29 not knowing, being a people pleaser, uh being self-conscious about myself, anxiety, depression is going down, though. It's going down, and I would say I'm doing well for now, doing quite well. We know we're not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to be real and honest with everyone. Okay. This is why I started my vlog, to help my YouTube channel to help other people out there to understand, because I have a different perspective of perspective of life. Sorry, my accent, babe, like yo, I speak different languages, so you're gonna hear French, you're gonna hear Dutch, and English, whatever. Okay, so the fact that growing up, my parents has been very they have been very abusive to each other. They will be fighting physically, and it was not even a physical abuse on my dad's side, because people think, oh, yeah, women are more vulnerable to being exposed, or coming across or dating some a man who is physically abusive. It does not work like that in African household. I've seen both of my parents literally fighting, literally, okay, taking five type of shit, literally taking five. Mortal Kombat lifestyle, like you thinking you're just staring there, your kids, and you watching your parents fighting. One would just like avoid punches. That would be maybe my dad. The other one would my dad would throw a plate at my mom's, and my mom would just avoid plate. It would be just crazy, and we were just there sitting there staring and try to figure out the fuck is going on. But obviously, as kids, we're very very like traumatized. We were traumatized because we'd be crying and we're like, Dad, stop, Mom, stop. And we were in the middle and they would keep fighting. Like savage, y'all. Like savage. Like to me, I have never put my hands on a man. Even though I was pissed off, I'm more about my mouth, right? But me and my sibling, we mimicked the way our parents, the way our parents were fighting, and I would do that to my sibling. My sibling would do that to me. And the thing is, sometimes fight will become very very so violent, like we'll pull each other's hair, but to the point like we'll grab, like glasses, anything that you can find. I have seen so much violence in my family, from my auntie to my uncles. Same thing. There is this like this domestic violence situation keep going on, like, and it's mad. Like my aunties, same thing with the husband, they fight. And there was a lot of children abuse as well. Like my cousin were abused by the aunt. The aunt will be the aunt, which is my aunt as well. She will starve them, she will beat them up, she will do all sorts of things. And my mom was able to, obviously my mom adopted them because to just really to help them to get away from my aunt. And then my mom was not, because they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Yes, my mom has been a good mom for the outside world, but she was not a good mother, right? My mother has literally did everything to destroy my self-esteem since I was a kid. I was not allowed to express who I was. I was not allowed to express my talent. I had different talent. I was at school, but at school I was very, very quiet kids because of all the abuse that was going on at home. And it's at school I would make sure I was at the back of the classroom, and just being shy. I was scared to ask questions because I was always being, I was at home. It was walk on eggshells, so it was hard to be able to express yourself. And that's the thing that I had developed for until my early 20s, where I was not able to express myself. Even at uni, it was still a problem. Like people will ask me, "Do you have a question?" I would. It was not. It was so hard to come out. My mom. I've been living with my. Okay, both my parents was living at home, right? And obviously, my dad and my mom separated. My dad has done the worst to me. I have literally denied him sexual abuse. I have kept it for a long time, for years and years. My mom always had this because I look like my dad, and my mom will always say, "Shut the fuck up! You look like your dad. You're good at nothing." And you have to understand, since you're kids, right? Your sense of self is very, very important. I cannot stress that enough. It's very important to have a sense of self. It's really important to say to your kids how good they are, how beautiful they are, what are they passionate about. Ask your kids questions, communicate with your kids. A lot of African parents as well, do not have social skills. My mom did not have, unless she wanted to get something out of somebody, right? Outside world, she'll smile her, put her teeth out and smile everyone. Everything is perfect. We had to look perfect. We had to have the last trendy stuff. We were these type of kids, but they didn't know the abuse that was going on. At home, I never had interest about what I was good at. At school, people would always say to okay, at school, my mom would always hear, your daughter is very athletic. She has very good bones. She's good at sports. But she didn't care about that, right? Because obviously, yeah, your kid is good at sports. She didn't care. She wanted to fit in and be like others, because my mom was always competing with other parents at school. His son, now my friend's son is very good at math. He's he's number one, blah blah blah. And my other friend's daughter, she is really good at languages, and she had 99.5% on her exams and whatever. She will bring stuff from outside and come back home and tell us, and we'll be like, okay. She's like, yeah, this is how I'm saying. I'm just wondering if I didn't have no retarded children, because you guys are making me suffer, and I did everything for you, and you're not even. And she had obviously favorite the last one, who was very intelligent, so obviously she had the pass, and she obviously looked the way she wanted to look like. Typical model type, tall, slim. My little sister was like the angel of the house. She was very intelligent in school. She was not talking too much. She was quiet, very organized. And my mom's, for her image was the best thing, right? And she was sweet. My mom's kind of had the bipolar kind of thing. She had the immature kind of behavior about her, where sometimes she would compete with us. Like, I was 15 and I was growing, my body started change, and then I started dating, and now do you want to compete with me? And if I had something, she would put you down and say you worth nothing. So I had the really lack of sense of self. I've never had my mom telling me, you good at this, you should do this. The only thing she told me was, oh, my daughter, she really really into little insect and exploring and blah blah blah. But she could have done something as a physician, but she does not have the brain for that. So I have been put down so much. Even in school, I had to hide my my exam results, because I know I'll be beat up. I will get beat up. You know what I mean? I was getting beat up, but when I say get beat up, it was really bad, to the point that I would leave mark on my body, with bells, and then the next day should, you better do good, better, right? You should do better next time, because if you come back with that, she's gonna fuck you up. And there was the type of abuse for years and years, but for us as African, we think it's normal, and I'm sorry, it's not. It is not. We all have the same brain, we all have feelings, and yes, family can be your worst enemy. And I am African, and I know in a lot of family is very you have to, family is important. Nah, family is thicker than blood. Nah, I don't believe really in that. You got families that are really rubbish out there. Rubbish. It's like you were put in that situation to get the fuck out of it. To be honest, you were put in that family to learn something from it and get the fuck on. I'm sorry, I have to swear, but that's really the reality. Yeah, sometimes you're born, you see, like dogs and cat, Yeah, they are born, they make babies, and then you separate them little kitten, yeah, and these little puppies, you separate them and start selling them to different families. That's how happening. That's how I think. Yes, that's how I think. I think that yes, if your family is destroying you mentally to the point you become suicidal, look, I have developed a high level of depression when I moved to the America. And when they told me I was in California, they said, what happened before? Because we can see you going up, down. And I had, yes, some days I would be like feeling sleepy or like life is worth shit. Okay, well, it came from somewhere. Now I know. Okay, it came from somewhere, from deep issues. Guys, I cannot stress that enough. Okay, if you're going through abuse or whatever kind of abuse you're going through, mental, you do not have support from your family, they're not your freaking family. They are not. Okay. Okay, so this is for part 3. We're going to discuss a more deeper way of the consequences and of grown adult child, of as me, I'm a grown adult right now, I'm a fully grown adult. The effects, the deeper effect, that why you can get, what's the outcome when you come from a family like that. Okay, so that will be part 3. Okay, talk to you soon. Thank you.